disgruntledduck.com.
So next up on my workbench, the old Abrams M1A1 main battle tank from Tamiya. I've done a review already, you've seen what you get in the box. Not a massive kit, so this should be quite a quick little build, but I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we're going to get a nice little tank at the end of it. First stage is done. It wasn't a lot to do, to be honest, on this part. The suspension is already fitted on the model, so just really adding the idlers and adding the rear of the hull. So yeah, perfect fit, no issues at all. On to the next stage. So as I said, it's quite a simple build, so that is all of the work on the bottom of the hull done. The hooks are on, the lights are on the back, and yeah, we're ready to start on the top of the hull and then marry these two parts up. So this really has been a quick and easy build. That's the top of the hull done. That's probably about 10 minutes work. There is literally just the lights at the front, little handle there, and then this little viewing window. So it's telling me to put in some clear parts. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use some of the, got it to hand, some of the glue and glaze later once it's painted, just to put in those little clear windows there. But yeah, that's the top, that's the bottom of the hull done, so I can join them together, and then it's going to be, it appears to be all the detail goes into the turret. So right, so I found out what the screws for. That goes to hold the barrel in place. I've not seen that before, to be honest, in the model, but it gives some free movement when the gun barrel is going to be in there. Yeah, maybe they could have kept the screw and put some more parts of the model in, but hey ho. So started work on the turret. Storage boxes are on the sides. Got the rear of it fitted on. It's a really nice clean fit, you know, that's not been a problem at all with that. A couple of bits now we need to get into that I'm going to be leaving off during the build, painting up and fitting right at the end. But yeah, I think the same with the gun. I'm going to build this back piece here, leave the actual barrel off because I need to sand it down, make sure it's nice and smooth before it gets fitted on. So about halfway through doing the turret now. It's looking alright. Cage is fitted on the side, the smoke grenade launchers, or the smoke launchers. The driver's hatch, or the commander's hatch, sorry. So yeah, this is looking really nice. No real problems at all. I just wish there was a few more bits to do on this kit. But it is what it is, you know. And we'll have to do something with the painting just to make it pop a little bit more. So I've just made the little back storage cage. Got our mesh in there. Looks very nice actually. It's come off, nice finish. Not really any filling needs to be doing. So I need to fit this on to the back. I've just been getting on with the right side. Now it's pretty much identical to the left side, so I've just got to fit the smoke launchers there, the cage on the back, and then yeah, we're not too far off this being built. So the build, I'd say, is done. We've got our storage rack on the back. Everything's come together nicely. All the fine small little parts are in there. Also put the skirts on the side of the top of the hull. So yeah, everything's gone really smoothly. Yeah, there was a little bit of building involved, especially around the turret, but not much detail to add to the main part of the tank. But it's still been an enjoyable build. Still reasonably priced Abrams tank. So let's see how this guy turns out after a bit of painting. So right, I'm now going to lay down the paint on the old Abrams. So I've got XF59 Desert Yellow. That's what it looks like. So what I've done, because I know it's going to come out a lot darker, especially after we varnish, I've mixed up my own stuff here. So that's Desert Yellow, a little bit of buff, I think it's X57, yep, and some XF57 and XF2, a load of white in there. So hopefully, once that's on and varnished, it should come out to about the colour we want it to be. So again, I'm going to use this little jobby, little circle hole, little circle drawer or whatever it is, to do my wheels. That should save me masking and all that. But yeah, I'm going to give it a quick little coat and see where we are from there. Right, I can't seem to, so right, let's see if I can focus on this little guy. Right, there we go. So that's with the little round this thing, but I can't get the right size, because if you can see, the outside of it isn't done, the outside of the rim, which is quite frustrating. So I'm just going to paint a whole lot of them as they are, and then go in and touch them up with a black. But I don't know, maybe I could get away with that. Maybe I could get away with it if it zoomed in. There we go. Maybe I could get away with that, but I can see it and it's just bugging me a little bit. So hopefully when I hand paint them in, they're going to be a little bit better. So let's have a try. Right, so most of the body's done now. Looks alright actually. So now what I want to do is I want to go over, so there's the colour I've used, and I've got some of this in here which I've mixed up with a little bit more white, just to go over the actual centre of the panels, just to give a bit of sun bleaching. So let's give that a try now. Right, so I don't know if I think the white balances off a little bit. You can start to see those panels where they've been lightened. So if you look on this piece, you can see what's been lightened and what's not. So yeah, that's done that. Working on the turret, and then we're going to have a little touch on the wheels just to give them a little bit of a colour in a couple of places. So that's a little wheel for the Abrams. I'm going to give it a clean up now and give you a look at how it is when it's finished. Right, so you can see, just gone over that now, looking nice and clean. Painted the tyre in. I've just used for that, it's just this little Army Painter Wargamer detail, a little bit of watered down black, and yeah, it looks alright. So right now it's the tracks for the Abrams. Yeah, a bit of a pain because there's going to be a lot of silver. These need to be metal, and then the pads need to be left black. So I've got this Vallejo steel paint. I quite like these mecha colours. They've been doing me alright. They've got quite a good bit of coverage. Picked up a couple of Tamiya brushes the other day. I had one of these when I was a kid, and I really like using it. So I picked up a couple of them. They're only a couple of quid each. So I'm going to sit here now for the next couple of hours and paint away at these tracks, I think. So I've got to be honest, that is a really nice little brush. So yeah, just over an hour to get the first one done. I'm pretty happy with that. Doesn't look too bad at all. Tiny bit of touching up I'll do once it's actually on the tank, but that looks alright for a first go. So that's those two done. I was right, that took me about 3 hours all in all. They actually look really quite good though. So right, I'm going to get some varnish on these now just to make sure they don't chip or anything, and then come back and start fitting this all together. So I've picked up some of this stuff. It's MIG, it's a MIG pigment, it's polished metal. Now I've never used any MIG stuff before, so this will be a good one to try. I want to put it on this Abrams. I want to do it on the edge of the cogs and some of the wheels as well. So I think I'm going to do the cogs now before I fit everything else and before it gets varnished, and just see how that reacts. So right, I've given going right, as you can see on the top, it's had a little bit of that polished metal. I'm not sure at the moment if it's given me the look I want, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit these anyway, and then I'm going to come back afterwards once it's varnished. Maybe after I've done a wash on there, it might be more susceptible to this stuff. But anyway, that's what we're going to do next. Right, so I fitted the tracks. They went on really smoothly actually, no problems at all. They look pretty cool. They're going to look really much better when they're weathered. So now I'm going to marry up the top and the bottom of this hull, and yeah, then I think it's just finish a little bits on the top, the guns, bits and pieces. I've got to stick on some of the bits on the side here and the tow cables, and then we're ready for a bit of varnish. So there we go, all the guns fitted, boxes fitted on the back. So I guess now, I'm not sure about that gun, it's flapping around a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to stick that in a position afterwards. But anyway, so top and bottom's done. Now varnish, decals, and then weathering. I'm quite happy with how the decals look on there. have had the top coat of varnish. So I like trying out a few new things. So this time I've got these AK ones. I wash for RAF and OEF vehicles, and I've got streaking effect for the same. So we're going to have a little look at how these go on. I normally make up, I don't usually know what using them, I use R washers and make them myself. So let's see how these guys fare on this one. So I've gone over quite heavy with this wash. It's actually a little bit thicker than what I normally make when I do an R wash. My problem at the moment is, this is a brush I'd normally use for lining, and you can see the end splitting out. Yeah, it's split into two halves. Let me just put a bit of wash on. You can see the tip split into two ends. See that? I don't know why it's doing that, because I mean I look after this brush. I clean it properly. I put it in that that tip preserver, and yeah, for some reason this one is just splitting out. So I'm not using that at the minute. So I'm using this other one that's not as good. Yeah, so it's gone a bit thick. The varnish wasn't brilliant either. I don't know about that varnish I've used on this one. So it wasn't running the way I wanted it to into the gaps. But hey ho, it is what it is. And yeah, we'll see what it looks like on a cleanup stage. So happy with how that's looking. That's the wash has been cleaned up now. You can see it on the top as well. So it's definitely brought out. You can see the rivets all sticking out now, they look good. On here there's some depth to everything. So another coat of varnish, and we can use some of that streaking. So yeah, this one is actually not far from being done, I think. So I just want to add a little bit more character to this model. So I've got a few bits of stowage here. Most of it's out of the modern vehicle set from Tamiya, the model equipment set. And I think it's just a random bit of resin stowage that I've got in the stash. I like to buy, usually off eBay, just some random stowage every now and then when it's cheap, and then yeah, I can stick it with whatever I want to stick it with. So I've gone over, got my streaking on there, got my chipping on there, and I've gone over the tracks with some pigment, give it that sand effect. I'm really happy with this. This is actually looking pretty okay. So all that's left now is just finish off some of this stowage and stick it onto the turret. I think we're going to call this one about done. So here's my little bits of stowage. Quite happy with how they've actually come out. So I think right, fit these onto this guy and a couple of aerials in the back here, and I think it should be about done. So stowage is now all fitted. So I'm going to say I'll call this one done. I'm pretty happy with it. So there we go, just get some photos done and put this one on the shelf.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment.